Hello, and welcome to this, the conclusion of Bookshops of Arkham. I'm Mark Meer, your keeper of arcane lore. But as we know, a keeper is nothing without their players. Let's meet them now.
Hi, I'm Saige Ryan, and I am playing Dr. Hazel Berkovich, who maybe has one friend again.
Hi, my name is Carlos Luna. I'm playing Neil Black, who might not be sane right now.
Hi, I'm Lucia Verprille, and I am playing Judith Van Horn, who really easily agreed to killing somebody kind of brutally, so we'll see how that happens.
Patrick Logan and Mickey Sykes, who did take the killing blow.
Yes, there have been a number of incidents in the last episode. A number of incidents that one might describe as sanity-shattering. Neil, in particular, has been resurrected from his essential salts, having passed through the veil of death and brought back by his friends. Neil, you are currently, I should mention, naked. Your original body, of course, was dissolved into its essential salts. The clothes collapsed on the ground. The sacrifice, aforementioned, the late librarian, Lottie Potts, was used to bring you back, her blood mingling with yours, with the essential salts, and reconstituting you. Your clothes are on the ground in a pile where your original body had disintegrated. Neil did seem utterly and completely insane when he returned.
And we did hide the body. Lottie should not he should not know about Lottie.
That is correct. Lottie was thrown down the hole that the animated dead, the ancestors of Arkham and its founders, clambered forth from. So there are a number of desiccated corpses lying on the ground, but Lottie's body was disposed of before Neil could see. Neil has collapsed, sobbing on the floor. In the meantime, the rest of you, well, you've certainly seen some things. You did lose some sanity as a result of that, but we haven't dealt with the repercussions of the murder of, as far as you know, an innocent that just occurred. Sanity rolls for everyone, please.
Yeah, that makes sense. I failed.
Failure.
Success.
That also makes sense.
Hard success.
And a hard success. Very well.
Success.
Yeah.
Mickey, Judith, you each lose a point of sanity. And the dice are really with you. 2 points of sanity. You feel twice as bad about that murder you performed.
Is this the same encounter?
We are essentially, we've moved on to another section.
Ooh, okay.
So, yes.
That was about to be a little spicy.
Yes. Though little time has passed in fact, no time at all has passed for your investigators. Considering what's ahead of us, we will call this a new session. So no bout of madness for you, but perhaps a bout of guilt. Some pangs, perhaps. But it did get the job done. Neil Black lies shivering and naked on the floor of the Old West Church, here in St. Magnus Library. Neil, you have suffered greatly. Your sanity is currently 10 points lower than what is listed on your sheet.
Okay.
But you have returned with knowledge. A spell. Specifically, the music of the court in yellow. You instinctively know how to perform this spell. You can call it forth when you need to. It has a casting time of 3 rounds. There is a cost as well. 1d4 magic points per round, and 1d4 sanity points per round. However, it can do quite a bit of, shall we say, damage to a foe. You also have been given something to pass on, if you so choose. Something for your friends. As you feel the cold stone beneath you, this bout of madness passes. However, there are lingering effects, permanent effects. You now have a severe phobia of hooks, pointed objects, particularly anything getting too close to your head. Moreover, you have a mild phobia regarding the color yellow. It unnerves you even to see it. And if you had to come in contact with something yellow, you might even get violent.
Anil? Hey.
Hey.
Gather his clothes. Just lay him out.
Yeah, if I'm coming to. Hey, everyone's doing okay, huh?
Hey, it's okay. Just take a minute.
Oh, man. Are you guys okay? Did it happen to you?
Yeah, we're good.
We're all right. Nothing happened to us. We're okay.
Okay.
I mean, not nothing, but not that.
Yeah.
Everything's a little hazy for you, Neil. You remember the hut, the three women, pain. And then it's all rather fuzzy, but you remember you were given something to give to them. You instinctively know what to do, if you choose.
Hazel's just like down on the floor with you with like a hand on your shoulder, just trying to like calm you down a little bit.
Where are you two?
I got in your clothes. I'm probably at the door, checking the surroundings to see if anything's left behind, like people or anything, threats, essentially.
Everything seems silent.
Okay.
Is the hole in the floor still there?
It is.
Judith isn't like staring down it, but every once in a while she's near it and just kind of like glancing at it.
If you glance down, it's quite dim down there, but in the half light you can see the shattered remains of catafalques, coffins. You can see bodies slumped on the floor, including one in modern garb.
So he's shaking his. Oh. Judith, Mickey, come here.
I go.
And I start speaking very softly. I have a secret for all of you.
Okay.
Then I would like try to like grab them all at the same time, so we're like all connected.
He holds you. As he gathers you in, he reaches up and touches each of you in turn on the forehead. And as he does so, memory returns to you. How could you have forgotten? How could you have forgotten that? It's so important. And yet, even though the memories that you lost in Carcosa return to you, it's just the information. It's like something you read in the book. You, Hazel, you remember Elizabeth, of course. You remember her name and her face. And you remember where she is. And the horror washes over you for a moment that you could have ever forgotten her, that she might have been left there alone forever. But then you realize you have no connection to the memories of your time together. Again, it's just the information. There's no... It's like it's something that happened to someone else. Your love.
What did you do?
Your time together. In some ways, it's worse. But at least you know where she is.
What was that? Neil, what was that?
I think you know. You know. And I think Neil starts coming to the realization like, oh, you know, but you don't feel.
How did you do that? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay? I thought you'd be happy.
It's just been a hard time. That's all. It's great. I'm just so happy you're here.
But what I gave you, you're not happy with. You don't feel it.
You don't. You know intellectually that you and Elizabeth were lovers. You know, of course, you remember the details of your time together, but again, you have no feeling for it.
It's okay. I'm happy to know.
It's the entire point. It's the entire point. What's the point? What? And I like look over at the other two.
The others, the same. Judith, you remember, yes, you know how to fish, and you remember that it was your father that taught you. For the last day, it was so odd. You knew you had a father, of course, but you couldn't remember anything about him or any feeling towards him. And even now, just information. It might as well be a photograph of someone else's father. You know what his face looked like. You know what his name was. You know how to fish, but you don't remember the joy that fishing together brought you. Mickey, the same. You remember your mother singing. You remember your friends, your times together in the war. But it's just a list of facts.
I'm glad you're back. But this ain't over yet.
And that was not for nothing. It's great to know, and I'm sure it probably just takes a little bit of time. It's magic.
Does Judith, with remembering it like its own just information, does she also then remember all of the other memories that she had with her father?
Again, it's like, I remember a movie I watched once.
But it doesn't affect her.
Yeah, you don't have that emotional connection to it.
Neil,
Yeah.
you gained some sort of superpower.
No, real power is a gift. You guys didn't get it. It's not an equal trade. You didn't get it back.
I know.
Neil, we got you back. That was it. We didn't know the thing that we had lost, but we knew. I knew what you said and you said, and we all were willing to sacrifice it and anything else to bring you back.
How?
We still have work to do.
I hold up the book and I just show that we got the third book.
We got it. We did it.
The third book.
Now we have to, I don't know, bind them. The guy in the...
We have to destroy them.
You do notice, Neil, that there are strange symbols painted on the floor in what looks like blood.
Looking at the book,
I'm intentionally trying not to let him open the book.
I think I rack focus to like the blood on the floor. Wait, what? And it takes a step back to see it as a whole.
And you can see there are, as I mentioned, some desiccated corpses lying around as well.
It was terrible. There were these zombies and this giant
I would assume
creature.
I'm looking a little messed up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and in fact, Judith is injured.
What happened? You guys are okay? What's? Oh my God!
Well, we came in here to get the last book, and then we went to the back room over there, and there was a handsome fellow, but he wasn't very friendly, and so we tussled with him, and then we came out here, and there were some more sort of creatures, and there was like a shadow thing, and then you were here. Poof!
We fought off a bunch of zombies, I guess, and we recited some stuff together.
And I got this giant sword.
It's a Napoleonic era sword. You are dressed at this point, yes?
Yes,
Clarify.
yes,
All right,
yes.
Just wanted to paint a mental picture.
Yes.
All right.
As before I called them over.
Okay. So the group hug occurred
Yes,
when you were fully clothed. Okay,
yes.
good.
See.
Goes down.
He touches all of you. Okay.
So this is what you see. The rest of you, the three of you, of course, have been given information. The severed head of Professor Jackson is, of course, in the next room.
This was
and
just
also,
Mr. Jackson, right?
Sorry?
This is just Mr. Jackson, not the professor.
Oh, sorry,
right?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say, for the sake of not clear, you did find Professor Jackson's head as well. Normally it would have required a search roll, but I'll give you that as well. Professor Jackson's head was in considerably deteriorated shape.
Got it.
And perhaps had been through the similar process, but all information that could be pumped from her had been, or gleaned from her had been done so. And so also the corpse of your antagonist with its smashed in head, that's in the next room, so you don't see that either.
Mr. Jackson was they had his head in there, and he told us some stuff. He was saying that what was the name of the person we have to take it to?
Armitage,
like a doctor, professor of some kind.
Dr. Armitage at the
At the Orn Library at Miskatonic University.
Said that he would know what to do with it, and that it was either that they had to be protected or destroyed. All the books, it's not just putting them together.
Either way, that's where we're headed next.
Do you need anything first?
No, I just need this. We need this over.
Yeah. Let's get patched up and then let's head out and say.
There's time to just breathe for a minute.
And I'll offer out my hand as well, just to soothe and comfort of this calming, slowing down that I think she's used to offering for patience.
I hand your rifle back to you.
Oh.
We're doing that very quickly.
Came in handy.
Thank you. Puts it on. I was just like.
And I'll head out to the Studebaker.
Before everybody leaves the church, Judith is going to kind of stay for just a second while everyone is leaving. She's going to pull out her copy of the Golden Bough. And is there anywhere in it where Harry Houdini has specifically signed it with his name?
Yes, I think at the very end he's made a bit of a longer passage giving his thoughts on comparative religion, and he has in fact signed it Harry Houdini. One of the reasons why it was so valuable.
She is going to just kind of take out a pencil or a pen and write next to it where he's written Harry Houdini. She's going to write, "For you, Mr. Houdini, I did real magic." Close it back, put it back in her kind of side position, and then she's going to pull out both the Magic Man card and the Devil card from her tarot, and she is going to throw them down the pit with the other corpses.
The tarot cards flutter down the hole.
Love you guys.
Judith turns on her heel and rejoins the others in Gladys Pinching's Studebaker.
When we get back to the safe house, unless anybody has anything else to do, I'd like to perform first aid on her because I don't think she's had that done to her yet.
No. And you were wounded by a reanimated corpse.
Yeah.
Ouch. Does Neil have any kind of
Yeah, we
damage
were.
or anything?
Neil seems fully restored to
Can
health.
he recover any sanity by resting?
Oh, quite the opposite. I thought you meant through his experience. It's no. He lost quite
no. Bro, every time you go to sleep, you go a little more mad. Fuck.
Oh, man.
As a psychologist yourself, you realize Neil, the state he was in, one doesn't recover completely from that. He seems lucid and fine now, but
Sure.
You've known him for a while. He seems a little squirrely. And a couple of times when you stop at traffic lights, especially when you're slowing down, you see him visibly flinching.
Wow.
And you're thinking that therapy, a long rest and some therapy might be the best bet for him, but there's certainly not time for that now.
Failure, unfortunately.
Failure on the first aid?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you do not regain any hit points.
Damn.
What the heck, Mickey?
Why is Judith so different?
Yeah, there's there's the whole she forgot how to be merciful thing, I think.
You know, we were back in the sands. You moved toward the hut.
Mm-hmm.
You were asking for your mother.
Yes. Well, when we were all looking at ourselves in that bookshop, you remember, and your hand just sort of passed through, I thought we were ghosts.
Oh.
So I thought maybe she was waiting for me.
She's passed then.
Yeah. A long time ago. On my birthday, actually. It's kind of awkward.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. She just walked into the lake. Bye-bye forever. She's actually why I got into ghosts, because I didn't have anyone else to talk to, and I thought she still lived there, maybe.
Oh. You know what? You know what? You know what we'll do when this is done? It'll be fun. I know a great spot on the docks by Arkham, and I'm telling you, the mackerels they catch here, they're amazing.
I actually, I hate fishing.
Yeah, I should have figured that.
Or at least, I think I do. I know I used to hate fishing.
Well, maybe.
Maybe it could be new now.
Yeah, there you go. There'll be a new experience.
Yeah.
You know, we'll set that out.
Sure. Do you want to gut the fish, though?
Yeah, let me do that for right now. But you'll later. We'll get to that.
Yeah, kind of pressing matters.
Yeah. It'll be okay, kid.
I know it will.
Is there anything else you wish to gather from the safe house? You have your weapons with you. You have the rifle. You have the revolver. I assume the baseball bat is still with you, and brass knuckles.
Yep.
You also have the straight razor.
And a sword.
And, oh, yes, and the sword.
I have a hunting knife, the nightstick, the baseball bat, the sword, and the straight razor.
You might wish to divest yourself a few of them.
I would like to keep the sword.
Sure.
Can we combine all of them into a single?
Yeah, just into a big
simple weapon.
Into one.
You also are heading towards the campus of Miskatonic University. You assume there's campus security of some kind. It might be good to put your rifle in a case. It is 1939. It's not unusual for people. You know, there are hunting enthusiasts and things like that. But you probably are not going to want to be walking in with an arm full of weapons, especially big, obvious things like baseball bats and swords. So might be good to wrap those up in something.
How big is the sword?
Sort of, it's like a saber, you know, cavalry saber length. It's a Napoleonic sword about that long. So, what tack do you want to take on your way to Miskatonic University? You obviously, as a resident of Arkham, know where it is, those of you who live here. And I would say that, Neil, you probably even have friends who have been there. And are you a graduate of Miskatonic?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, Neil's born, raised out here.
Your degree is in organic chemistry, is that correct?
Organic
Yeah,
chemistry.
we haven't really utilized
Well, yeah,
it that much.
it really hasn't come up.
Yes,
The one
but-
time we went into a lab, you were dead.
Oh, you guys are in the lab. Awesome.
Yeah, it was more of an alchemist's lab than a chemist's lab,
okay,
but
yeah.
yes. And so, yeah, I would say you're quite familiar with the layout of the campus. You also know that because you are familiar with Miskatonic, it's actually not that far from a place you've been before. The campus is relatively close to J. Will's bookshop.
I mean, we're outside of the belt now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
We should reassess the points, I guess, that we're getting directed to, just in case.
Well, the points on the map, the 3 stars which make up Orion's belt, those denoted the locations of the books.
Right.
And so you believe that you have done with that. You've essentially discovered where the books were. Now you've been directed by the late Angus Jackson towards Orne Library at Miskatonic University because Henry Armitage, the chief librarian, is probably the best equipped to deal with this. You are aware that there is what they call a restricted section at Miskatonic University. You've heard rumors of banned books and tomes being kept there away from the general public, sometimes for their own safety. You'd always taken that as rather fanciful, but having experienced what you have.
Yeah, we should just. So what's the game plan? What are we doing? What are we even doing when we get there?
We're trying to find this guy. And if we say who sent us, hope that he'll help us.
Get everyone to make either occult rolls or history rolls.
Hard success for occult.
That's failure for history with my strong 5.
Very well.
Failed for occult.
Failure.
Very well. Judith, you have made some study of the occult, and while you're not necessarily overly familiar with these books, you have heard of tomes like Unersprechlichen Kulten. In fact, the author, Junst, had some papers that were for sale in the auction. There's rumors that there is a copy of that at Miskatonic University. Other books, including perhaps the most infamous, the Necronomicon. There is apparently a Latin edition and perhaps even other editions at Miskatonic, including some in Old English and things like that. You've heard about various books over the course of the years, and certainly Miskatonic University is a place where such things are kept.
So they've already got a bunch of kind of scary books there.
Yeah, okay. What's hate to bring this up, but what's the game plan with the books? Are we keeping them all together? Is one person holding them? Are we splitting them up?
I mean,
We gotta keep them together for now, right?
we've just had them in the bag. You've been carrying them around. That's
Yeah,
fine.
so
Yeah,
for
they
now,
have
I
them
have
being
them in the
carried around
briefcase, and they are together. We know that separating them wasn't good, but we were also told that there would be consequences for rebinding them. So it seems like what has happened isn't immediately reversible. They said that people have tried to destroy them before, but failed to. So if we work together with this doctor, we hope that maybe he could find a way to destroy them, right? The other option was protect them, but then who protects us?
Alternatively, we could take out all of the pages, put them each in separate lead boxes, and then buy a boat, and then just drop them in the middle of the ocean all separately. And then no one would ever find them ever again.
Neil stares at the books. Well, they'll find them again. They're gonna find them.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen, okay?
Yeah. He like, grabs a briefcase and he's just like holding it tight.
I'll hold on to the books, okay? I'll hold on to the books, right?
Yeah.
Through in us.
And I'll put the satchel on.
So Hazel throws the satchel over her shoulder. You are carrying your rifle case.
Yeah.
Your revolver is tucked away under your clothing, I assume?
Yes.
Very well.
All right, I guess we go to that university.
Again, the Studebaker ferries you over to Miskatonic, and you make your way onto campus. You can see the Copley Bell Tower rising above it all, almost in the center of the campus. You pass the statue of Dean Halsey, one of the luminaries of Miskatonic. As mentioned, you can see the Copley Bell Tower, and you know that the Orne Library is in the southeast corner of the campus. In the distance, you can see Some groups of students walking together, laughing and shouting. There's a couple, even though it's late at night, a couple of them are throwing a football back and forth. There's a few that look like they've been drinking. They're sort of like hanging around each other's shoulders, laughing. There's some rude songs being sung. You can see some of them were wearing like fraternity sweaters. And none of them particularly approach you. As you get closer to the Orn Library, however, you notice a man walking along the path towards you. He's wearing a tweed three-piece suit. He has spectacles. He is balding. His spectacles are clearly of a very strong prescription because they magnify his eyes quite large as he walks towards you, and you see him adjusting them as you approach each other on the path.
Remind me the professor that we're looking for, his name one more time.
You're looking for Dr. Henry Armitage.
Armitage,
who is the
thank
chief
you.
librarian.
Because this guy just looks like he knows things, I'll just stop him and go, "Hey, so sorry to trouble you. Looking for Professor Henry Armitage?"
Professor Armitage. Dr. Henry Armitage. Yes.
Oh, yes, doctor.
Yes.
Hi, Dr. Hazel Berkovich.
Doctor.
Yes,
Oh.
psychology.
I see. Doctor, I am Professor Ernest Gilman.
Pleasure. Yeah, we were supposed to stop by and see him. I know it's a bit late, but I was told he'd still be around.
Well, it's rather late for him to be accepting visitors. It's nearly curfew. The gates will be closed in short order.
Well, we'll be out in no time. Just a quick stop by for a colleague.
It's a bit irregular. Doctor, you say, psychology.
Yes.
Well, I am somewhat surprised, to be honest.
Pardon?
Please, don't mistake me. It's not your gender that gives me pause, but rather your youth.
A couple of weird assumptions back to back. Where's the office?
The library. Yes, I suppose. He takes out a watch and looks at it. I suppose I have some time. Yes, come with me, won't you? You're new to Arkham, are you?
Not particularly, but I travel a lot.
Oh, yes. And how are you enjoying your time in our Fairburg?
It's been very eventful. Had a lot to do in a few days.
Yes, you're lecturing here at some point, are you, Doctor?
Yeah, I came in for an auction and speaking with just a few colleagues nearby, sharing a little information.
An auction. I hope your bids were successful.
Extremely.
Yes.
Question.
Yes. No, are you asking me or are you asking the
I'm asking
keeper?
He's asking me. Oh, are you sure he could be asking me? No, you fool.
Just because, old ladies have been stabbing us.
Sure.
People have been strange. I'd like to get a general read of this old man to see if he's about to just whip out a gun and kill us or means us harm or even thinks we're shady.
Check for vibe of Lottie / asylum people /
He seems fairly affable, as mentioned. His eyes are rather bulbous. I'd say if you've ever known anyone from Innsmouth, he's got a bit of that look.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it seems fairly pleasant, though. Are you trying to make a psychology roll? Or?
If I can.
Yes, of course. I'd say
I would
anyone
also
who
love
wants
to assess,
make it. Success?
Hard success, on a psychology.
Yeah, he seems like he actually was on his way somewhere, just bumped into you, and seems friendly enough that he's willing to help you. You also get that he did not mean any offense by being surprised that you were a doctor, and he was just surprised because you're younger than he thought you might be.
I share a look specifically with Mickey because I feel like when we assess people, it's from the two different perspectives of is this guy going to hurt us? And I'm just like, what's up in there? Why are you being weird?
And actually, Professor Gilman is like, tell me, what are your friends' fields of study? They are, he particularly looks at Mickey like,
I'll let them speak for themselves.
I'm a professor of rats.
oh, a zoologist.
Yeah. That.
Oh, yes. We actually have a number of behavioral studies programs here. We find running the rats through mazes can be quite elucidating.
It's fascinating the way they scurry to and fro. Up and down.
Well, not really my field, Doctor. Not really my field.
Well, when you get into the mechanics of it, it gets a little, complicated.
Sure, fast talk, please.
Not good. Success on a 5.
Yeah. It's like, oh
my God.
Well,
Oh my.
again,
Yeah.
Wow.
not really my
On
field.
a 5.
Not really my field. But yes. And what have you two?
Oh, I like to think of myself as a Renaissance woman. I do many different things, but
Oh, art
mainly-
student, eh?
well,
He seems very sort of.
no, I don't quite understand art. I like a lot of different mythologies and things.
Oh, comparative mythology. Oh, well, now that is a legitimate field. Yes. And you, sir?
Oh, yeah. I actually was a student here at one
Really?
time. Yeah.
Oh, you're a student of Miskatonic U. Eh? Go cephalopods!
Yeah, definitely. Oh man,
The fighting cephalopods.
it's so glad to meet another. He's been unmasked.
Yeah, and then he launches into the school song, which you actually know, and you can half-heartedly sing along. I don't actually know the Miskatonic school song, but let's assume that you both do. And in that way, you pass your time. He actually guides you to the library and pulls out a key. It's like, since the Armitage is expecting you, I suppose this will be fine. A great pleasure, distinct pleasure speaking to all of you.
It was such a pleasure.
It's
Are
nice
you
meeting you.
married? Are you married?
I am a bachelor, madam.
Oh,
Shocking.
good to know. Thank you so much for showing us here.
Oh, yes. He blushes a little bit. He's like, well, yes, and pushes his glasses up. Good evening to you. And he turns down the stairs. You have been admitted into the Ord Library at Miskatonic University. Under an open atrium that stretches up to the 3rd floor, there is a large desk bearing a notice board, restricted section, 3rd floor, by prior appointment only. You work your way through the back of the library, the musty smells of this place. It is quite an impressive structure. And again, the Ord Library at Miskatonic is quite renowned. You yourself have studied here. And making your way to the stairs, what order is everyone walking in?
I'd say be second.
I'll probably be leading.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like right there.
I'll be last.
Very well. Is anyone doing any checks on the way in, or?
I'm looking for anything erstwhile. I mean, every library we've been to has attempted to kill us.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping a
Anyone
lookout.
following, anyone odd, anything. Yeah.
Neil's doing the opposite of a check, I guess, because he's avoiding yellow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
What
what,
would that
might
be?
be yellow here.
That's not the school colors.
I mean, there are certain highlighted sections on my map, but I don't think that they're yellow.
Okay.
They're in real life.
Yeah, I would
So-
love to actually do like a proper detailed check all the way up.
Okay, spot hiddens, please.
All right.
I also look specifically, Judith is really concerned about floors in libraries now. So I'm going to look for entry points in the floor, that sort of thing.
That's fair at this
The
point.
floor seems unmarred currently. And spot hidden successful?
Success.
Extreme success.
Extreme success? Were you doing one?
Maybe a nav. I guess spot hidden. Yeah. Failure.
The two of you, especially you, Mickey, are quite sure. It's like everything seems quiet, peaceful. Sign indicates that the restricted library is on the 3rd floor.
I assume that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in here currently? Or is it just the 4 of us?
No, it's quite late at night, and the library is officially closed.
Okay.
The professor seemed to have a key for whatever reason. He might have been given it for specific research purposes, but he did seem to think that Armitage might be around. Though he was surprised that he was accepting visitors at this hour. The fact that he thought Armitage was here would indicate that Dr. Armitage tends to work late. As you reach the 3rd floor, An ethereal light shines out from below the atrium. There is the sound of chanting. And impossibly, floating up from the space below, his arms outstretched and bathed in a nimbus of light, a familiar figure, one you haven't seen since the night of the auction, one who disappeared at the same time that Angus Jackson did. Lucas Chambers. He smiles widely as he gazes at all of you.
Well done. You finally made it here to the safety of the library. I knew that you would. In fact, I was counting on it. You've done magnificently. Three's gods, whose origins stretch before the beginning of time, before cities or civilizations. Potent gods, gods of forests and dreams and death. But those are gods of this world, of course. They are nothing in comparison to the power of the old ones. The likes of you, all of you, a quack, a fraud, a criminal, and a pathetic weakling, were able to imprison them and bind them back into their place. That is quite an achievement. I applaud you.
You jealous, intern?
I would never dare to do it myself. You see, as powerful as I am, I instead needed all of you to do it. And I knew that you would, whether that was due to vanity or a quest for knowledge or the insipid thought of doing it for the childlike belief of good. As if the concepts of good or evil exist in this universe. Did you honestly believe that you would be able to win? Against the one and all, the opener of the way, the lurker at the threshold. But now, your race is run. I hope you have learned something, I suppose, but there is nothing else for you now.
I've learned a lot. I fire off a shot at him.
Roll your hit.
And that succeeded.
Very well. Regular success?
Yeah.
You fire the gun, and you see a flash of light in front of him, where you assume the bullet impacted with something. You're not sure. He laughs and continues.
All there is now for you is oblivion. Whereas I shall acquire the power of these gods myself and ascend unto a god of my own.
He holds up something. It's leathery. You realize with horror as you recognize the symbols upon it that it's the flayed skin of Joseph Norris, stripped from his body.
Do you recognize poor Mr. Norris? He did not die well, but he still does have one last book to bind.
Chambers lifts the skin above his head. The patterns and shapes on the skin begin to whirl and move. Suddenly, you feel a tug as the briefcase suddenly is attracted towards him. It bursts open, and the books fly towards him. The pages of the books come apart in mid-flight and flurry into a snowstorm of paper. Chambers throws Norris's skin up into the midst of it all. The papers seem to grow in size, and one great book appears, the coverboards bound in the flayed skin of Joseph Norris. The open pages of the book are huge. They flip and turn over as if blown by a great wind. More pages join, becoming massive. As the paper lands, it twists and flips into shape. Twisting towers of impossible height in a city under a scarlet moon. Vast mountains of ice and snow under the ethereal lights of the aurora. It's like some manner of giant pop-up book. A twisting path is leading down into a great temple. And you see, Chambers is no longer where he was. He's in the book. Walking into the storm of paper, his arms raised, chanting and calling. He screams the name that you've heard before.
York so thought!
Over and over as he recedes into the distance. The vast sides of the book start to lift, and the pop-up world begins to fold. Deeper and deeper into the world of the book, Chambers moves. A path can be seen.
I jump in.
Mickey jumps in. You can see him, and as soon as he crosses that threshold, you can see him growing smaller and smaller in the distance.
What the hell?
Mickey went.
Judith jumps in.
Neil takes the rifle out of the box, like straps it on, and like looks at Hazel, runs towards, but right before he jumps in, he grabs like some random books that are just like right on the side.
Sure. Just use any random book?
Just whatever random books are there.
Very well.
I'll follow in after Neil.
You do know you aren't actually in the restricted section yet. It's just these would just be literal random books. Okay.
Yes.
Very well. You walk through a swirling land of pages falling like snow, with mountains, castles, forests rising up in front of you. A giant paper wave rises and floods towards you. It picks you up and sweeps you forward. The towers and forests are swept away by the wave, like a tsunami. In front of you appears a lighthouse on a dark night in a ferocious storm. And you feel upon your face lashing rain. Real rain, it feels like. The huge waves that smash against the lighthouse, yes, they're no longer paper, they're water. And the wave is hurtling you at the lighthouse. You're suddenly smashed against it. Give me dex or strength rolls, everyone.
Hard success.
Also hard success.
Hard success.
Regular success.
You all manage to cling to it. Warm light floods out of the windows and around the door frame of the lighthouse. You hang on to rusted iron rails around the door. Even bigger waves, unbelievably high, smash into you again and again with shocking violence. You cling to it, desperate. Those with hard successes find yourselves able to maintain. You feel yourself slipping.
I grab on to Judith.
3 arms reach out and grab Judith. Final wave comes. More terrifying, more enormous yet than any experienced. It doesn't look like there's any way you can save yourself from it. It smashes into them. And as the lighthouse is torn apart by the storm around you, it once more turns to sheets of jagged, dripping, flayed skin, which then resolve themselves into a great rumbling canyon. Dry red sand whipping up from the huge plain against the colossal rocks which begin to lean inconceivably inward, towering over you, threatening to crush you. Then, you hear the rush of a flash flood behind you. Down the canyon, a wave of black blood boiling forth, frothing against the cliff sides. It sweeps you down in a torrent, and you're tossed like broken dolls in the current, clutching at the air, sucked down by the undertow, drowning in the thick ichor. Could everyone please make constitution rolls?
Success.
Failure.
Failure?
I rolled a 100.
Whoa.
Extreme success.
Extreme success. Very well. Neil, you will take 3 points as these black ichor forces its way into your lungs. You're coughing and drowning. That was you rolled a 100, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh.
Judith, you take 7 points of damage.
Still up.
Are you still conscious? Yeah, you are nearly drowned. One of you can try to grab her if you like.
I will.
Yeah, the extreme.
Strength or dex?
Strength. Success.
Judith seems almost unconscious. She's coughing, like as you get her above the waves, she coughs out an enormous amount of this black ichor.
God. We're moving through this black ichor, correct? Can I keep her on my shoulders and take a disadvantage to any, or whatever, hard or extreme, to any rolls come forward so she doesn't have to?
Sure, yes, you selflessly manage to get her above the waves.
Yeah.
And suddenly you feel solid ground beneath your feet. As it recedes, you find yourself standing on the cold, white, marbled floor of a strange temple. Around you are arranged a henge of white, tall stone monoliths. You recognize it, those of you who saw that vision. It's them. It's the stones you saw. In the center is a white tree with golden leaves. In front of it, a roaring fire. Lucas Chambers is standing with his back to you, staring at the tree.
Where am I? The path has brought me here, but for what purpose?
He turns and seems confused. He looks at you.
Bow down. Bow down and worship me. Worship your king.
Neil has the rifle focused right on him, and he pulls the trigger.
The rifle doesn't seem to work.
Ooh.
And in fact, it dissolves in your hands.
Oh, no. No.
Bum rush him with a knife.
You rush forward.
No, I would put you down.
Okay, all right.
No, okay, then you get on her and you
It's
get on
a
her.
game of
Okay,
chicken.
great.
Yeah.
You rush forward and attack him with the knife. Please make an attack roll.
Success.
As you approach him, the knife raised, you suddenly see that he's dressed in a pure white robe. A sacrificial robe, with a garland of fresh flowers on his head. He says,
I did not wish for this. What is happening?
Oh, you tried to become a god. You tried to
The
become
knife.
a god and you became the bait.
digs into his flesh and he screams. But he doesn't die. He doesn't die, no matter how many times you plunge the knife into him. He screams and screams as strange paper figures come forth.
You're not a god.
I back up immediately as soon as it starts to happen.
They nod towards you, gesturing towards the knife.
No.
They take the cuts that you made in him, dig their fingers into the side, and rip him open, pulling forth his viscera and roasting them over the fire.
I get back fast.
They don't seem to be threatening you at all. In fact, they seem friendly towards you. They turn to all of you as Chambers is stripped of all of his flesh, his bones torn apart, ground, mixed with his blood. His flesh and organs are roasted on the fire as plates are brought forth.
I swear to God, if that old lady comes out here.
4 plates piled high with roasted meat. Goblets filled with blood. They're placed before you. You recall passages from the Golden Bough. You recall passages from Abigail Trout's book. The figures look at you expectantly. They bow and gesture towards the plates.
Can I just, for the sake of recall, when we're remembering what it is from the Golden Bough, like I remember the recipe and the sacrifice and all of that from Abigail Trout's book, but when it comes to the Golden Bough in particular, any of this ritualistic stuff, the end result of that was the summoning, right?
Was also a way of taking the power of something into yourself.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be this.
I don't want this. If this is done, then this is done.
Well, what else are we supposed to do?
Judith.
I'm just asking. Look where we are. How else do we leave?
Is there a way back?
There does not appear to be a path. This is all there is. The monoliths. The white tree with golden leaves. The fire over which Lucas Chambers has been roasted. The plates of meats before you. It smells delicious.
Ugh. I don't move towards it.
Just sort of...
Whatever this is, Mickey just drops the knife and backs away. Even if I die, I'm not doing this. I don't want what this is.
What's beyond the figures?
Nothingness.
People think it's just completely nothingness.
Darkness. Outer darkness. The sky above begins to rend and tear. The figures look up. It's a collection of iridescent spheres begin to form in the sky. The figures look to you expectantly, look to the plates, look back to you, look to the sky fearfully.
What if we don't, and whatever else is in here just gets released?
You think by taking the power we contain it? It would stop it from spreading.
Jackson said to seal the books.
He also said to destroy them. This isn't that, at least. It's not yet.
This is nuts.
This is absolutely insane.
You can't.
There's a roaring sound in the sky. The figures begin covering their ears. Again, they look to you, they look to the plates, they look to the sky.
No.
The books have been bound.
But that's not enough. Mr. Jackson said we have to just have to get them out of here. And where the hell is that doctor that we came to see?
You do not appear to be in Miskatonic Library anymore.
What if Lucas bound the books, right? And if he's been destroyed in a way, what if this is the way to actually destroy it? To separate it again?
Through the four of us.
It's a hell of a thing to be wrong about.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I take a hold of my crucifix that I got in my pocket, and not knowing what else to do, I ask guidance from God.
The sky rumbles further.
Not them, like just old school Catholic God.
The sky rumbles further as iridescent spheres, more of them appear.
Seems like he's not available.
Okay. Looking at these figures and everybody else that we have encountered thus far, to Judith, do they feel comforting?
Do the figures feel comforting to Judith?
Yes.
They do. They appear very reverential towards you as a fact.
I didn't have you take those horrible feelings away from me just to give them up now.
Okay.
And I sit down at the table and I'll drink.
It's delicious. The meat is tender and you feel yourself fill with the power of a god. You feel it in your bones, in your being. The power is intoxicating.
It's not venison, and I've had a lot of that.
3 plates remain. The figures gesture.
And I just kind of like scoot in towards Neil and Mickey.
Without.
Neil looks over at Judith, and then Mickey, who's grasping a rosary. Not in Kansas anymore. And then, he starts chugging it.
You drink the blood, you eat of the flesh, and yes, you too feel the power flow through you.
It's gotta be something else. Something else. There's gotta be something else to this.
I'm looking around, there's nothing else. And look, if this is the wrong choice, and the 2 of them already did it, I'm not gonna lose anybody again, so I'll go with them.
You don't
Whatever
have to,
that
Mickey.
is.
And I'll offer also a hand to Mickey and just be like, if you want to, no one's gonna blame you.
I do it.
I'll do it at the same time.
Both of you, like the others, feel the power flow into you. And now that you all 4 are sitting, you feel it, yes. Ereshkigal. In your head, the name. The name is but a mask, but yes, that is what she was called once, by some. The god of sleep. The power is there. Ninurta. The forest god. God of the hunt. A killer. A hunter. The god of dark return. The god of knowledge. Enki. It is there. The power is yours, and you find yourselves back in the Orn Library as the paper world peels apart, the monoliths unwinding, the blue sky curling away. The large book, bound in the patterned skin of Joseph Norris, is at your feet. And an old man in a dressing gown, with a poker in one hand and an oil lamp in another, is staring at you fearfully. Who are you? How did you get in here?
Pick up the book.
That's a more complicated question than you know.
Well, I am Dr. Henry Armitage, and I demand an answer to this question. I am chief librarian here.
I grab him by his collar and I go, "Are you real? Are you real?"
To the best of my knowledge.
I touch his face.
Yes, I think I am.
I back up very slowly.
Are you quite sane, my friend?
I don't know anymore.
What is the meaning of all of this? What is that?
Do we have the books?
You have
The one book.
One book. It is clearly bound in the skin of Joseph Norris. Armitage's eye settles on it. I see. I am familiar with tomes such as this.
Yeah.
You've brought this here, have you?
How do we destroy it?
Destroy it? Sometimes things like this can't be destroyed. Attempts to do so and you merely send it somewhere else. But, yes, we have ways of dealing with such things. Is it getting... Do you smell that? Is it getting cold in here?
It's coming. Try not to die.
What? And indeed, indeed it is. Reality itself seems to tear. The beast you saw before, this time not shrouded in darkness, not mercifully shrouded, tears its way into reality, its long ape-like arms clawing through space, pulling it into our world, as its vast toothy maw splits its skull and it roars. We shall begin, though all of you are considerably enhanced.
Oh, what does that mean?
Oh, you will see. You will see.
Did I lose the knife?
You have the knife in your hand, and you are empowered specifically by the power of the god of the forest, whose knife you wield. And so, you are now in combat with this creature, a dimensional shambler. But, very fortunately, you have all eaten of the flesh of Lucas Chambers and have been empowered by the Ur-gods themselves. All of you, any hit points that you had been down, you are now at full hit points.
Ooh.
Moreover, you may add 10 to any stat that you choose.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do handgun. What's everybody else doing?
Are you still allowing me to swing my sword with brawl?
Yes.
Thank you.
You did.
Good feeling.
I'm using this to increase my knife skill because I got this knife.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems useful.
I increased my dex.
Thank you.
Could we also use it to get luck?
Yes, that is a stat. If you want to increase your luck by 10 points, feel
Because then
free.
we can expend it to win. Yeah. I'm gonna take it off my handgun and I'm gonna put it in my luck instead.
10 points into luck.
It's not a bad strat.
I'm gonna put it in my luck. Okay. Because I've used a lot of luck this game.
Neil, your recently acquired Song of Hastur will be empowered so that it begins doing damage immediately.
Oh, wow. That is huge.
It certainly is.
What am I the god of?
Ereshkigal, you had the goddess of sleep. The Lord of Dark Return was both of you, and Lord of the Hunt.
Nice.
With hypnosis.
Hypnosis, sleep, dreams, dream analysis. Yeah, it all
okay.
works out.
That's pretty good.
Let us begin. Who has the highest dexterity?
Yep.
Very well. Please, feel free.
All right, I'm gonna fire off this handgun. I'm gonna see if I regret not putting it in my handgun stat. I don't. It's a hard success.
Hard success. Thank you very much. Roll your damage.
5 points of damage.
Very well. The thing roars as your bullets rip into its flesh. And yes, your bullets do seem to affect it. It's as though the gun is an extension of you. It too is imbued with your power.
Well, I've got 4 more power.
That is, who is anyone else using a firearm? Very well. Let's move down to our next dexterity, 70.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step back and cast the Song of Hastur, the King's Cry.
The King's Cry, aka Music in the Court of the Yellow, Music of the Court in Yellow.
I'm going to roll what it cost me, the 1d4 for magic and 1d4 sanity. First one's a 2, so that's the magic.
2 points of 2 magic points and
4 sanity points.
4 sanity.
Oh no, you already so low sanity.
We'll worry about your san outcomes after this battle.
But it deals damage right away, right?
Oh yes, because
Awesome.
you are empowered by a god. Roll d6, please, for the damage.
3.
3 points of damage. Okay. Moving on. 65, I believe.
So I'm fully healed, so you know what? I got my sword, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna swing.
Oh, man.
Very well. And where did you put your points into?
I put it into brawl.
Very
so
well.
I could swing with it. That is a success.
Success. Please roll your damage.
Oh, it rolls it for me at the bottom.
Nice.
4.
There are 4 points of damage. And Mickey,
Coming at him with my dagger. Oh, that is a failure.
Ooh.
You want to spend luck or push it?
Nah. I'll push it.
All right.
I mean, yeah. It's the last fight. Success.
Success. Well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yes, you were going to miss, but you managed to redirect the blow, come up with an uppercut, maybe catch it in the gut with the knife.
3 points of damage.
Another 3 points of damage. This thing is roaring and screaming. It turns its twisted, eyeless face towards you, Mickey. That's a regular success. Would you like to try to dodge?
I will attempt to block.
To block?
Block with the dagger.
Okay, so as a regular success.
Extreme success. 7.
Okay, you managed to turn it around. You can do damage to it.
4 damage was rolled.
4 damage. And we're back at the top of the round as this thing howls and screams, withering under the assault of you 4 earthbound gods. Back at the top.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna fire again.
Very well.
Let's do it. That is a success for 8 points of damage.
8 points?
Whoa.
Wow. Okay. This thing is looking rough. It's withering, as I said, under your assault.
Yeah, and she's just like super focused, both hands on it, staring like unbreaking at this thing and like down the barrel of this gun to try not to mess this up.
Over to Neil.
Neil's gonna spend the extra magic insanity to continue the King's Cry.
Very well. Roll d4 for both of those losses, and d6 for damage.
Okay, 2 on magic. And then another 4 insanity.
Wow.
As Neil's hold on reality grows ever more fragile and tenuous.
And then they are going to take 6, -6 for the con. And then, because it's the second round, I get to roll an extra 3d10 every 2 rounds. It's by scaring reduces the victim's APP by 3d10.
Yeah, that's its appearance.
Oh,
It's already plenty ugly.
Yeah, gotcha.
It doesn't even have an appearance score. It's a monster.
Gotcha.
But you do see like its skin bubble and twist.
Oh
and
no, it's scarier.
rot. Yeah.
Oh God, it's even worse.
It might look a little better. It's like, okay, that actually gives some
Oh,
care.
my modeling career.
And all right, we move on. Judith.
I'm gonna swing again. Because apparently I'm dealing a sword now. Ooh. That's a failure. It's a 44 to a 35.
Afraid you miss. Unless you would like to spend luck.
Or push it.
Or push. But it's not that much luck.
Yeah. How much luck is that?
9.
It's like 9 points of luck.
Yeah, I'll take the luck.
Very well. Roll your damage.
It would have been a 5.
5 points.
Yes.
All right. Over to you, Mickey.
Knife. Critical success. I rolled a 1.
Whoa!
What does that mean?
Oh, you will be doing maximum damage, of course.
Oh, so that
Yeah.
would be 10 then.
10 points of damage in a single blow. As the knife of the forest god, the blade of Ninurta, plunges into this thing. Why don't you describe how exactly you dispatch this dimensional shambler?
As Hazel is shooting at it from a distance, blowing pieces of it off, Neil is screaming something ungodly that is just making its face bubble.
Maybe very godly.
Judith is bashing it with the sword awkwardly yet effectively, smacking it around. I jump up and I want to be able to grab whatever part of the tentacled face that remains, bring it down, and just straight take the knife and jab it square into its jugular, shanking it. And I say, "That was for Carlo and Johnny and Don, you bastard. From whatever hell you came from, Tell him Mickey, Juju, Neil, and Hazel sent you and slit it.
The knife almost decapitates it as this thing falls, its strange alien flesh dissolving as it completely ceases to exist before it even hits the floor. You hear a gasp behind you. Good Lord, is it over? Henry Armitage is still standing there. That was very impressive. You were empowered somehow, weren't you?
Yeah, you could say
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
Yes, of course, the Ur gods, the servitors, subservient to the one of all, Yog-Sothoth. But don't you see, you've taken their mantle. And now you have a choice. You can fulfill your destiny, bow before Yog-Sothoth and worship him. All the secrets of the universe and cosmos would be known. Or turn your back on the secrets of the cosmos, remain earthbound, growing in power until you become the embodiments of the gods you had overcome. But you will never rest. Never. For Yog-Sothoth would hunt you forever. And inevitably, eventually, bend you to his service.
So the option is service or the later service?
Sometimes the choice is no choice at all. But what you do now, that is your choice.
But how do we stop the cycle, right? If we took it from someone else, and how do we stop it from happening again?
Stop it. It can't be stopped.
We did all of this and it can't be stopped.
Sometimes the struggle alone is worth. But your choice is yours. I cannot make it for you. Nor must you all choose the same.
What happens, I guess, if one of us says no, they'll just be running, right? Or if all of us, but if we split up.
All I know is this. Hey, Yag, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. Come at me.
Well, you've clearly made your choice. Earth for you, then.
I'll be waiting for you.
Where do we go if we said yes?
The Earth or the stars.
Could you say yes and stay? Or do you have to...
Hey, for me, my end was always going to be here anyway. If Yag wants to come and take me, he'll come to my place and take me. Even if I gotta wait. I'll fight him till the end, till my bones is dust.
I mean, we'd be fighting him with, like, kind of god powers.
Hey, it's all up to you. But for me, this is the first time this entire trip where I actually feel good about myself. I'll take it either way. Sometimes it's the little things that count. God powers, I don't need any of that. I'm fine with my meat existence.
We've got it either way. I think the difference is whether we do it in service or do it in fear, I guess. But
short time here, to me, better than eternity with whatever that is.
Judith?
I've spent most of my life being chased around by the devil. And he hasn't stopped me yet. But now, I do actually maybe have some magic.
So I might as well use it. And we have a fishing trip to go on.
Hey, that's right. You're more than welcome. I mean, the Arkham water's a little murky this time of year, but hey, it'll probably be an edible trout.
2 choices for Earth, then. The Earth or the stars, that's the choice before you.
Oh yeah, this is easy. I spent my time reading a million books, a million adventures, and just from that sad, stupid drunk's apartment. And you know what? I get a chance. If I'm gonna spend eternity hiding somewhere, I'm gonna spend it amongst everything. Everything all at once. Come with. It's always been you and me.
What is that? We don't know what that means.
I know what it means here, though.
Yeah, I know what it means here, too. I haven't liked it here very much, either. I guess I don't know what I'm staying for.
I've read books about infinite worlds, infinite universes.
What if it means bowing down to some crappy god?
I mean, what if it means a world of shrimp?
Okay, if you're going, I'm going.
We're going.
The choice then for you, the Earth or the stars?
The stars.
The stars.
Then for you, those who chose the Earth. They will carry their power with them. Theirs was a tale of millennia. From the risen apes who first gave shape to things beyond the material world, to figures of myth, legend, and fairy tale today. Behind their 1,000 masks, they were the same. And those masks will be worn anew. You find yourself transported. Your flight from Yog-Sothoth will be long. Perhaps centuries. But it will end eventually. And for those who chose the stars, the walls of the real world flicker in and out of existence. You see a black shape falling towards them from the glowing stars of Orion. A door opens and you stand on the abyss of space. Yog-Sothoth is before you, massive, stretching down far below you, reaching up high above. Reality flickers. You are yourselves kneeling down in adoration at the ineffable power in front of you. And then you are no longer anything more than pure energy, a sphere that is perfect and formless. A sphere joins the spheres that are Yog-Sothoth. You have joined him and become him. A profound consummation. In the library, Dr. Henry Armitage stands alone. At his feet is the great book, bound in the patterned skin of Joseph Norris. Armitage slowly picks up the book and carries it to the restricted section of Orn Library in Miskatonic University. The door softly closes. And that has been Bookshops of Arkham. Thank you to my players, and thank you for watching. Ya, Cthulhu Fatan.